Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. I'm Derek Nicola. I'm a writer here in Los Angeles, California. And today, in a change of pace from usually like hosting a digital writer's room, I'm going to be working on my own stuff. And if you have your own stuff to work on, to join me, work alongside me. Today, instead of in the reading and writing category, we're in the co-work co-study category. And I've got all my writerly things together. I've got a bunch of notebooks right behind me. You might be able to see her being super cute. That's my dog, Sugar. She is my muse, and she'll be writing along with me, being a writer's assistant. If you're new to the stream, be sure to check out some new like redeems and rewards, where if you want me to give Sugar some snacks, we have a little thing called Sugar Rush. Really proud to add that, and I know she would like it as well. And let's see, today I've got my cool writer cardigan on, because you have to dress for the job you want. And let's see, I've got my comfy writer Crocs, nice fuzzy slippers, and I've got my computer set up. So let's see here. Let's see. Sorry, first time doing this. Let's start the work. I'm gonna do some 50-minute sprints. That's 50-minute sprints, where I'll put my head down, do as much work as I can, and then come up for air for a 10-minute chat with the chat. So, that being said, I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm writing on. I'm writing on a short story collection, a collection of short stories to be put into a book, and this particular story is called Mr. Mattel. I won't have the text up because I don't want to feel the pressure of like having to just put words up to prove that I'm working, as opposed to just doing good work the first time, allowing myself time to think. So with that being said, if you end up having like any sort of questions, save them and we'll chat about it for 10 minutes at the end of this sprint. Make sure I'm not missing anything, and then we'll get started. Yeah, everybody's cool. Sugar's cool. She will whimper. I will ignore her because you can't reward bad behavior, Sugar. Okay, let me see here. Now I'm gonna get myself set up. I don't want a copyright strike, so I'm gonna listen to some of my own music while I play some like classical movie style music in the chat. Okay. Apologies for all the clicking around, but technical difficulties, of course. There we go. Okay. Let's begin. Oh, Mook. How's it going? You have questions? I hope I have some answers. How are you doing, Mook? It's good to see you, especially on a Monday. Me Alpha, my little dancing dinosaur. Oh, you make a Monday special. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Ah. I am. That's weird. I shouldn't be. It's not like I ran a marathon. Y'all, I got Sugar a little elevated bed so you can see her in the stream. Isn't that cool? Yeah, yeah. Let me give her. Careful now. Careful, careful. Something. Here, have that. This way. Nanja? Good girl. I don't know if you could hear the crunch. It is, right? That's what I was looking forward to. I was looking for some upgrades. Mookie, how have you been? How's the what's life like at the paper on a Monday of all days, huh? Let me see. That's tough. That's tough. Who pampers Sugar more? I think I pamper Sugar more in treats, while my wife pampers Sugar more in like she'll take Sugar to get like podicures and like a little blueberry facial and stuff like that. And she does a majority of Sugar's walks whenever I'm gone all day for work. And I spend a majority of time with Sugar on my days off, which are like 2 days out of each week. So I would say the safe bet is to always say the wifey wins. The wifey puts in more work than anybody, for sure, hands down. But is the writing area a separate room or part of a larger room? It is its own room. Isn't that cool? I finally have like a little office space, which allows me to be a little bit more free, I guess. Not that I wasn't free before, but you know, sometimes it feels good to like lock yourself in a particular space dedicated to the one thing. And it would be really easy to get distracted, like laundry, you know, would go off, or somebody needs to like walk across the room to the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. How often do I cut my hair? I'd say like every 5 or 6 weeks or something. I get a cut. But yeah, random question day, huh? I still have questions for you that you haven't answered about the paper on a Monday. Let's see. Also, and I haven't followed up with her, but I want to thank Kara93, who we often raid, for reading some of my short stories. I'm going to go back and have, I had a little bit of a listen. Sugar, no, you can't do that. You can't just keep begging me. I went ahead and listened. She did such a fantastic job reading them, and man, does an English accent just make work sound so much better. And I was like, oh, am I a real writer? That sounds so good. And she read them with a lot of care and attention. 2 of the short stories that I finished working on for my short story collection. I think she's streaming right now, but the stream before, I think they have VODs, or maybe her YouTube channel has a log of it. And she does like a little story time at the end, even though the whole stream is worth a watch. So I wanted to give a little shout out to Kiara93, and if you guys want to hear some short stories read by a wonderful voice, that's not this piece of trash right here. Please go give it a watch. Sugar? No. You're very cute, and I appreciate you. But that's not going to work. Not unless you guys redeem some sort of sugar rush, which I've... further from Gabe. Yeah. Probably going to be a lot harder to meet, but we'll get it done. It's 2026, right? I mean, that's what technology is for. It's what phones and Zoom and emails and stuff are for. So we'll figure out a way to keep getting stuff done. But in the meantime, yeah. Let's see. Oof. Man, it feels like 50 minutes of writing sprints isn't enough time. It feels like it takes a while to get into the groove, but you know what's even shorter is 10 minutes with the chat before I have to go back in. But you know what? I'm king of this little castle. And Sugar is queen, and she's bossing me around. I'll jump back in whenever I feel like it. But still, it was just fun to talk to you guys today. How do you feel about like the Trials of Tucker Rollington must live on? Highfalutin with an accent. But how do you guys feel about, having a stream where I'm less involved and less writer's roomy? Because that will happen. I'll go back to the digital writer's room on Tuesdays. But just an accountability stream where I can kind of focus, get my work done. You can work alongside me if you want to. Or not. You could just lurk. Either way, I got to get some work done. And it seemed like this was a really good way to do it. And also, I have some gaming stuff set up. Whenever I'm starting to hit a wall with writing, I'll switch on over to the gaming portion, and I've decided to play Disco Elysium, which is kind of revered by writers for having a strong narrative in the gameplay. Game night and streaming that makes you more productive in the areas you... Yeah, right? Yeah. I just kind of started tallying it up, and I was like, wow, I feel like I'm really spending more time writing for other people than I am for myself, and I just had to kind of set up my life in a way where I can get my writing time back. And this is it. And you know what? It seems fun. And guess what, Mook? I got a real cool writing thing happening where I got two screens. One has my OBS and stuff, and the other has all my writing stuff. So I don't have to keep clicking around and moving windows and all this kind of nonsense. I think it's real fun. I'm excited. Mookie, the day job does not involve writing. It involves draining my soul from my body. But it's good to have a space to come back to and be able to use my mind in a productive way. Yeah, impressive, right? Worth it. Just totally worth it, I would just say. I've always wanted it, and I got it, and it wasn't too difficult to set up, thank God. And yeah. Sugar, do you want to get out of here? Am I holding you hostage? Okay. Well. Oh, I am holding her hostage. It's her dinner time. All right. 1 second. I'm gonna feed Sugar, and I will be right back. And I don't work for the government, but might as well. is all I can say. All right, y'all, 1 second, and I'll leave you with a fun prompt. Okay, all right. Yeah, I do. Well, you know, I have to have some sort of like a privacy whilst online. But no CIA stuff. Oh man. Oh, been eating little dried mango treats to reward myself. Love them. Okay. So, let me catch you guys up a little bit. The short story I'm writing on right now has been tentatively called Mr. Mattel. I've been working on the story for years. I kind of wrote it pantser style, maybe a pantser style version of it, maybe 3 years ago. 4 years ago, something like that. And it came out a little sing-songy, like Dr. Seuss-y. Because the opening sentence had a rhyme scheme. I have all my notes on it up. I'll read it to you. Just the opening sentence, which was, Mr. Mattel was a lonely doll maker. He handled them with precision and care. He made them outfits and combed their hair. Was this like kind of line that came to me, and I had always heard that J.R. Tolkien had written The Hobbit by writing this random sentence where he said like there once was a hobbit that lived in a hole or something like that, and he just had the sentence in his head that he wanted to get out, and that was his jumping off point. He just started from there. He started world building from there. Whether that story is true or not, I'm not sure. My 5th grade English teacher told me that story. I don't even know if it's rooted in reality. But I thought, oh, I want to kind of do that. I want to try and write a story where I let a line come to my head. I open up myself to the creative universe, and then allow the creativity to follow. I'll figure out how to back up this line later. So I ended up sitting down for a few hours and knocking out like I can't remember, it was either like 3 or 6 pages, something like that, of a short story. And I liked it, and it was kind of fun. Clearly needed some work. It was definitely a first draft. And every now and again, I would kind of revisit it over time. I ended up just kind of clarifying for myself what the story is about. You know, one of these writing tenets. Oh, a little tilt up. Of course, the writing tenets that I've got. That's not all of them, of course, but know where you're going. You know, was a big issue for me there. And what else? Find the one word core. probably I hadn't done. So, and with all those things in mind, I was like, I'm missing some major story elements here. It's not a screenplay. No, I did try to write it into a screenplay version, thinking that would like kind of get me out of the writer's block. But to be honest, it didn't really work. It just ended up clarifying for me what the vehicle really was. It's a kind of a meditation and character study on grief and fighting the fade of grief. This ended up being kind of born out of making sure that I was writing from a place of emotional resonance, right? Something that I knew I could feel strongly and keep it with me and recall to write the story and make sure that I was writing not just with story mechanics, but also feeling, and that there was something inside that I wanted to express with said feeling. Hey, Sean, you done with dinner? Come on. Yeah. Sit on Nuggy. Here. Your little sweet potato chip. There you go. Okay. Has it made me cry? The story hasn't made me cry in particular, but something that like did make me cry in real life inspired me to write the story. It was channeling like grief of, I think it was channeling grief of my own. I wasn't sad when I wrote the story. I was sad whenever I came back to the story and realized it was a good vehicle, and that in revisiting the subject matter, that it was a vehicle for the exploration of grief. So whenever I lost my last dog, Rango, to be perfectly open and vulnerable and honest, it was the struggle of like fighting the fate of grief, because like I wanted to remember him, and I just loved him so much, and it's just that struggle of wanting to keep things in your heart, but time naturally, as part of its natural mechanisms, causes you to recover, to make life livable again. You know, life goes on, and this is the story of one man's struggle to essentially preserve the pain in order to keep the memory alive. And I'm you know, I understand how dark and dreary that sounds, but the veneer of it is that he's a middle-aged man who collects and restores dolls in order to keep his home feeling alive and full of people that he will never have to essentially lose, right? Like the dolls will remain, and the act of finding them at rummage sales, restoring them, and displaying them is really him acting out of some sort of preservation. And that's what this story is about a man who does that. Exactly. Time erodes things, pain, but also memory. Is very well said, Mookie. Very well said. And no, it is not a musical. Is that true that Sentence became a short story Pantser style, or you're just reiterating what I said? I do wonder now if I was being lied to or not. The lore of how J.R. Tolkien started writing The Hobbit. Wasn't he a teacher? J.R.R. Tolkien. While grading a tedious pile of school exam papers On a warm summer day, he found a blank page. Spurred by a sudden flash of inspiration, he scribbled down a fateful sentence. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. And he didn't know what a hobbit was or why it lived in a hole, but the phrase stuck in his head. And I think something about that rhyme scheme of Mr. Mattel also like stuck in my head. Not necessarily the opening line, but the one where he handled them with precision and care. He made them outfits and combed their hair. Something I was like, oh, it just seems, I don't know. Probably the rhyme scheme itself is the thing that made it stick. But now we're turning it into something a little bit more elevated, something a little less Dr. Seuss all the way through, and a little more punchy and modern. So that's what I've been working on. Good to talk to the chat. Don't get mad at your teacher. No, you do get... no, that teacher was... he was fine. He was fine. He did force us to read Lord of the Rings. And we all made video projects of different parts of the book. And I remember we did the thing where we put on, I think we met Strider for the first time, and they were in like the tavern and they put the ring on and somebody disappeared, and we did the thing where we put a ring on and cut the camera and ran off and like hit record again, and it was fun. It was fun. It was a good time. It was that and Watership Down we read that year. I still think like we could have read something like a little bit more of an American classic. I don't know. That's just me. Okay. I'm glad you're making the journey through writing. One day others will join you on it. God, I hope so. I think we need more writers and readers, honestly. Not everybody has to write, but gosh, it's really good to have some readers in the world who support the writers. I always wonder, who am I writing for? Who's really ever going to pick this up and read it? But the truth is, even if that margin of people is small, I really like those people. I really do. No one's redeemed the sugar rush, so I can't. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. It is. It's time to sprint again. You were sensing it, weren't you? It is. Let's do it. Let's get some work done. For anybody else who is sprinting, don't forget to save your work. Happy work. Let's get going. Here we go. Okay, 50 minutes. See you on the other side. announce it. The chat's back open. Sprint 2 done. Whew. How's everybody doing out there? Did I miss anything? Oh, I see Income Plays here. Snacks and Games and Dogs. I always appreciate you. Suanova. What's up? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Welcome to the sprint. The break from the sprint. My sweet baby angel right here. Let me go ahead and turn to the side. That's Sugar. She's my muse. She's helping me write today. Always a pleasure to have her on the stream. 750. Well, I mean, I could go another sprint, but honestly, I'm kind of eager to try a little gameplay. Would that be crazy to do a little break and then Disco Elysium and just kind of hang out with the chat? I gotta say that time flew. You know, I thought I was gonna. Normally, whenever I work off stream, I hunker down and I don't take any breaks whatsoever. I get into a zone and I don't come up for air, and then I look up and so much time has passed. But this is good. I like being able to take a break and talk with everyone. Were you guys working on anything? If so, feel free to share. Looks like here's what ended up happening. Every day that passes, every hour that we spend, examining ourselves, even as a writer, we become a better writer. And so I find myself looking at these old drafts and thinking, I think I can see myself trying. And at some point, the trying accounts for research and development and getting to know the content and what you're trying to say. And at some point, I kind of just decided I'm going to rewrite this from the beginning. I think I could do a better job without trying to salvage work simply because I've already done it. And I'm eager to see how this draft comes out. Let's see. 1 second here. Okay, so supportive of Sprint 2. Thank you. Let's see. So it's 8 p.m. my time, LA time. Part of me thinks I should maybe do a little gamey, maybe? What do you guys think? Let me see how difficult it'll be to kind of these questions don't come up until... No, I can't start a new live stream without stopping the current stream. Okay, well, it is what it is. Let me go ahead and Income Play. Hey, what's up? What's up, Shug? I'm gonna bring you closer? What's the deal? I am Sugar. God, you're doing such a good job being the mascot. Sorry. Just don't want you to fall in the hole. Okay. Ink and Play, what have you been up to these days, huh? Nice to hear from you. Let me ask you guys something. Would you come back pretty quickly if I stopped the stream, started it again, and played a little game on it? You in for a little gameplay today, just to see how it works? Huh? I think it'd be really fun. I don't know why I'm asking permission. I should just do it. This is my world. You're just living in it. Sorry, is it rude to talk with my mouth full? Go for it? Okay. It's really about retention. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure you guys would stick around. Okay. If that's the case, give me a moment. I also want to get a really quick little screenshot with me and Sugar, if that's cool. I can turn it into a thumbnail. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Sorry. You gonna hop up? Okay. So sweet. Okay, Sugar. Sugar, look at the camera, Sugar. That's it. Whatever that is, that's what we're using. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. Here, have that sweet too. All right, y'all. Here we go. Stopping the stream and starting it.